Hi, Leo. Welcome to your December 2021 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. Oh my goodness. Well, one thing is for sure, you sure got a lot of major arcana cards, 4 out of 6. So that would suggest an eventful December. And, right off the bat, I would say perhaps there are relationship issues related to this, but not necessarily. The heart of the matter is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a card that is associated with luck, divine timing, a new cycle of growth. This card is connected to Jupiter, so that's why. And this is one of the cards this is a card that really speaks to the cycles of life, how life can sometimes have us celebrating, we're on top of the world, and then sometimes we're like the guy falling off the wheel, and we're not as, in that celebratory mood anymore. And let me just keep going. I can, the past position is the Ace of Cups. So this may be like new love coming into your life in some way. And that's why I felt like, since I got the Two of Swords, that there might be you have to choose between two people. We do have a Venus retrograde that is occurring in December. And for everybody, that can mean an ex coming back into the picture. But with the Ace of Cups, yeah, it either is a new love or an offer of love. But you have to be careful, because if this is an ex, then it can be a situation where the person is presenting themselves as, oh, I was such an idiot, I really want you back, and blah, blah, blah. But they're actually very conniving, and they don't mean what they say. They're very, they know what you want to hear. So that's the difference. And when you're dealing with somebody like that, then you're being manipulated, if you think about it. So make sure that if you are being given this love by somebody, that they are sincere. And how do you know that? Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to just go with what you feel, but you always have to be careful, because that person may not be an honest broker. Now, this could have something to do with creativity. So if somebody likes your work and they're offering you a creative type of job, and you're like, wow, I'm in the right place at the right time. And for Leos, it could be acting for sure, or some other type of performing, because you're so into that. So then the higher message is the Empress. See that little in the upper right? Maybe you might think that's the moon. Good. Maybe I don't have to color that in. That's a little chip in my Morgan Greer card. And this deck I've had for several years, and it's held up very well, but this is one of the cards that peeled off a little bit there. But I think I might be able to get people to think it's the moon. So this is the higher message, and this is talking about maybe what this all really boils down to. And what this can mean is that you are embodying this energy, maybe the divine feminine, this is the card of the mother, or specifically the Earth Mother archetype. And this is also the artist. And so how I see this is that, like with and it's funny, the Wheel of Fortune being a cycle, and you think of a woman's cycle. is that maybe you meet somebody at just the right time. Maybe you're 35 years old and you're like, holy heck, am I going to ever meet that special someone? You know, the clock is just ticking away here. And biological, I mean. And then you do. And it seems like it's all, aligning. That's how I see the Wheel of Fortune, is about alignment. What crosses you is the Devil card. So if this is, whether this is work related or with love matters, the lust kind of overtaking you, and that could have you choose a partner for the wrong reasons, because they have money, because you have great sexual chemistry, but maybe they're like a devil, they're like a narcissist, and they make your life worse off, but you just feel this sense of like, oh, I have to be with this person for whatever reason. You feel like a strong pull to be with this person, but maybe they're not good for you. So don't be misled by your lower nature if you have a decision to make. And speaking of which, this is the card that that speaks of that. Now you notice that this person is blindfolded, and that's a very important component of this, because sometimes people are acting like they have this wrenching decision that they have to make, and they just don't know how they're going to be able to do it. But really, their decision is already being made for them. Any decision that they make, like let's say you are in an unhappy marriage and you have met someone and you feel like this sense, you feel like they love you or something like that, but maybe you don't really love them, and you're just happy that you have this distraction from this unhappy union. But choosing between that person and your current partner is not a real choice, because you're not really wanting either one of those people. So the blindfold is being in denial over that fact that, it's not something that you really are going to gain from. Like, either choice that you make has a lot of pitfalls, and it's like a false choice. So the other thing too is that, the Wheel of Fortune can be that you're doing very well in your career, your job, and yet you have this, creative urge that you want to fulfill. Leo is a very creative sign. But also the Ace of Cups, that could be like a pregnancy. So maybe that's either you want to be pregnant or you are pregnant, or you've gotten somebody pregnant, I guess, if you're a male. So according to this, the answer, if you will, is geared towards creativity, including creating children or giving birth. So if that's the dilemma that you have, the cards at least. Now, of course, you don't want to make a very important decision based on a tarot reading, but at least it gives you some of the things that you're thinking about here. Because you may be just like very caught up in some kind of high status thing, some kind of like a lot of money. Yeah, especially with the money, the Devil card, you could just feel like I would be losing so much if I did this. But I mean, think of so much that you can gain. And the outcome is the Temperance card, which is associated with Sagittarius. And we are in Sagittarius season now. The sun just having gone into Sag at the end of November. And the angel is not just in the water, which is the spirit, and not just on the land, which is the world, but both. And that means that there's like a grounded quality to the spiritual, and a spiritual quality to the practical matters. I think that's so important, because every decision that you make, if you're making a decision about whether or not to stay in a job and you're just focusing on dollars and cents and you're not like thinking about, okay, but I want to start a family, how do I do this? Or if you're retired and your daughter is having a baby and she wants you to be a big part of that, and that's like your greatest dream, because some people, some grandparents don't want to be that active as grandparents, but some do, and that might be something that you would jump at the chance at doing. But perhaps there are other things that are pulling you there from the world, and being balanced with both sides is very important, because obviously you likely have bills to pay. So it's not like you can just completely ignore that side of life, but giving it just the most attention and not caring as much about these other matters is what may be creating some of the issues. So anyway, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this resonated. Thanks for watching. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. I'm primarily an astrologer. So I do a lot of astrology, like chart readings. You can find out more about my services at the link below. Take care. Bye.